Let's go ahead and make another modification, and let's take a look at how to review those modifications using a command called diff. So I'm going to jump back to the resource pack directory, and I'm going to open up the second step file. It's just marked with O2. And I'm going to copy this and paste it over the input.module file. I'm also going to make a couple additional modifications. This step adds some new code, but let's go ahead and remove some code. So I'm going to take this line and delete it. And then let's go ahead and modify this text just a little bit. Okay, so I've added that as well. Now I'm going to save it and jump back to the command line. I'm going to clear the back scroll with Command K, and I'm just going to do git diff. Now when I do that, it opens up Vim, the text editor, and so we can go up or down using the arrow keys. And let's go ahead and take a look at the output here. The things that stand out with color are actually the most important to us right now. The red is examples of lines that have been removed, and the green are lines that have been added. Now notice that this is a modified line, but it shows up as a removed line and an added line. And that's how the version control system works. Instead of tracking modifications within a line, it only tracks modifications to specific lines. So regardless of the number of changes that we make to this line, we could even add a space or indent it. That would constitute a modification, and so the original line would be removed and the new line would be added. We also see our removed line here, which is the one that we deleted. And if we continue to scroll down, you'll see that we have some code added as well. If you can't depend on the colors for some reason, there's also a negative sign next to lines that have been removed and a plus sign next to lines that have been added. I'm going to scroll back up to the top here. So let's go ahead and look at this line by line. This initial line here, it's just rolling over onto two lines because it's particularly long, is a header in Git format. And you can tell it's in Git format because it begins with diff -- git. And this is simply the name of the initial file and the name of the second file, and usually these will be the same. After the name of the file right here, we have two shortened hashtags, and these are unique identifiers, one for the original file or the pre-image file, and the second, which is the post-image file or modified file. And then following this is a number that indicates the current status of the file. This indicates that it's a normal file and not an alias or symlink. Following this is another type of header. This is a unified diff header, which this would have in common with other types of diff output from other version control systems. And this simply says this is the original file, this is the modified file. And usually, again, they'll be the same thing. Each chunk of changes is preceded by these @ symbols and ended with the @ symbols as well. And this indicates where in the file the change begins and how many lines it goes for. And this is for the original, and this is for the modified version. So this says on line 3, we're going to show the diff for 7 lines. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this change is on line number 3. And it's going to be the same line for both the original and the modified version. Now notice that it shows some text beforehand and after, just to get a sense of where these changes are in context. Here's another line that begins with the @ symbols, and this also indicates a second chunk. This starts on line 15, and it goes for 11 lines. So if we looked at where this function input menu line was in the code, let's go ahead and do that. We would see that it's here on line 15. But the length of the change will be different for each one, because in this one, we're subtracting a line, and in this one, we're adding several additional lines. So you see that this says 16 because we're showing 16 for that file, but the original file will only show 11 lines. I'm going to keep scrolling. We have one more chunk here, and at the end it says no new line at end of file. And just like when we're at the bottom of any document in VI or Vim, it'll say end here. And we can exit out of this by pressing Q. When I do that, you see the command line come back.